Good morning. We are up bright and early at 9:30, headed to go get a razor that has rolled off of the Ruby. I think they call it the Ruby Mine Loop, Ruby Loop, out in the Wickenburg Mountains. It's a spot we know well. We've pulled a Can-Am out of the same spot just over a month ago, and about 3 years ago, we pulled a gentleman and his daughter's rolled Jeep out of the same spot. So come along for the adventure. It should be a fun one. So we came in on Castle Hot Springs Road. We're headed up Trilby Wash to just above Ruby Creek, to where the side-by-side went over the edge and took a tumble. Got Vincent with us today. He's closed up the gate. So we've got maybe 5 more miles. We're getting pretty close to the recovery, and just before we get there, we go through this little area that's got some history of some pretty heavy mining. So we're kind of going through old mining section. Lots of little roads going off in all directions that aren't passable anymore. And I believe there's a couple adits out here that are still open. But we're just coming through that mine now, and I'd look up what it's called, but I'm busy driving. We are almost to the recovery, a half a mile, I'm thinking at most. Vincent's opening the last gate that we got to go through before we get to it. We got one little spot up here that gets a little rugged, and then we come up to the casualty vehicle, and you guys get to watch us get it out, get it up. Customer states they think it's got at least one broken control arm. Hopefully it's just one, because then we can just tow it with the other end on the ground. If it's got broken control arms on both ends, we're gonna have to pick it up and carry it out, and the 4 seats make that a little bit fun. We have arrived, so let's go take a look at what we're dealing with today. So this is the problem area right here, and this is not as wide as it looks. You can see the tracks. They were driving across this. You can see the torn dirt here where they struggled to stay up. And all the kick down dirt here. So they did a kind of a slide off the edge here and then went for a ride. And there's no way that I would ever get the wrecker through this pinch point in one piece. And the best way to recover this vehicle is not up this side. You got a much smoother, slower slope up to that side, so I needed to get to that side. But this is becoming a notorious spot. Somebody needs to get out here and effect some trail repair. There's not much that can be removed uphill. We're gonna start getting rigged up, and we'll get this out of here. I'm thinking we're gonna come up. I mean, the back end, is that the back or is that the front we're looking at? That's the front.
The front.
You know, I don't like to pull them up front ways because the steering fights us, but does it? I didn't look at the control arms. It looks like both front control arms uppers and lowers. From here, they both look good. So hopefully tie rods aren't messed up and it would steer okay. So if we just grab the side, set it down. I know this edge right here, just before it, is kind of steep. So what I think we probably should do first is let's see what we can do by getting it on its wheels. So we may set the truck up on the hill. We'll run the first line down. Well, let's grab that cage and let's just get it on its wheels. And it does look like the control arm in the back is broken. It's hanging there, or that's a drive shaft. Well, maybe it's just a drive shaft that's broken and not the control arm, in which case it makes it a lot easier to tow.
Control arms seem to be together. Those are the axle shafts that are busted.
Okay, what about on the front end? Tie rod's good?
Yes. So far, front end is intact.
Okay, so it'll steer.
Yeah, that's just the axle shafts. Everything else is together. It's like it'll steer and roll.
All right, well that's good.
And if we tip it back over, it'll stay on its wheels.
There's enough room for it to lay flat?
Yeah.
All right, well then why don't we focus on that first? I'll just turn the truck around with that. Start pulling some line. You'll have to come up about halfway to grab it.
That's fine.
And then let's just grab the roll cage with an endless loop and pull it onto its wheels first. So we've come up with a small plan, or at least plan A. That is going to be to right the vehicle onto its wheels. Vincent says there's enough room down there to make that happen. And then after we have it, he says there's enough width to bring up most of the washout down there to near here. And then maybe we'll turn right there and come up this little slope right here. So it turned onto its wheels, but it looks like it tried to roll down the hill a little bit. So I'm gonna shut off the truck so I can talk to Vincent and see what happened. We still have the winch line on it, so it can't go anywhere. All right, I see that it tried to leave.
It tried, but it's hooked up to you, so it's not going anywhere.
Right, I didn't want to let slack out of it. I wanted to make sure. Did it just slide on rocks or did it actually roll?
It was rolling a little bit. It's not really gonna want to stay in park. Those back axles are broken. We don't really have park.
Both of them are broke?
Yeah.
Oh, you are correct, sir. We have no park.
Yeah, both of them are just kind of hanging.
All right, why don't you orient some rocks behind all four tires before I put slack on it.
Okay.
So I thought we had one broken rear axle, and those have a spool in them, so one axle would be enough to hold the vehicle. Vincent has let me know now we have two broken rear axles, so park in any position in the transmission for that matter other than four-wheel drive means nothing to us. So we're gonna have to be a little bit more careful about the potential for the vehicle to roll. So Vincent's down there putting some rocks behind all the wheels before we put slack on the line. And then we're going to reposition over there. And then once we reposition, we shouldn't have to disconnect from the vehicle again. So we'll be able to keep it on the line the whole time.
Go ahead and unhook it.
Are we disconnected, Vin?
Yes, I'm unhooked.
All right, thank you very much. Not gonna lie, that wasn't one of my better throws.
I stood back, I was waiting.
Do you need another soft shackle?
I don't think so.
Or do you want to, here's my thought was,
Want me to use two, one on each side?
I'm thinking grab each control arm. You make a bridle out of that, go to each of those and then hook onto that. That allows it to shift a little bit side to side.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me get you a couple soft shackles.
So these each control arm, then
Yeah,
run
I'm
the
thinking
loop through
loop one on each control arm and then just use the off the endless loop as a bridle between the two. We did our first pull from here, got it on its wheels. We're now sitting here. We got the winch line pulled back out. Vincent is down there with a couple soft shackles and an endless loop. Went the soft shackles around probably the lower control arms, one on each side. Make a bridle out of the endless loop, and then we're going to pull it. The plan is up the creek bed just a little bit, and then right here where the winch line's running, the steering still works. Tie rods are still connected. Front suspension still in one piece. So if necessary, Vincent can steer it and guide it to where we want. We get up here on the hill. We'll pull it forward here. Then we'll do whatever we got to do to hook it up and tow it out of here. We'll be home for tacos or spaghetti or whatever's for dinner tonight.
Spaghetti tacos.
I'm hooked up.
All right, let's get a load on it first, and then.
All right, I'm gonna get out of the way. Ever told anybody, that guy is wild. That's how it's done.
Another one well done. All right, let's get her hooked up and get her out of here.
All right.
What did you guys think of that? All right, it was pretty cool. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. The rear axles are toasted, and they're gonna flop around if we try to tow it, and we don't have the tools to take them out of the hubs. So we're going to tow it backwards. So here in a moment, we gotta turn it around. Step on the brakes. I'm gonna relocate that down low. Otherwise, it's just gonna pull you over.
Yeah, that way it'll pick it up.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how this goes.
turned around. And now it's just a matter of hooking this bad boy up, setting the wheel straight, dragging it out of here. We have the side-by-side on the back, and we are headed out. We got to go through this little technical section where the road's in pretty bad shape, pretty eroded. And once we get to the bottom of this, it should be smooth sailing. So right now we're going through the tough stuff. All right, we are done, at least with the recovery portion. We have it on the sling, safety chains. We have lights on it so that we can tow down the road. And we are headed to drop this off at the shop for the customer. They got away pretty unscathed. There's not a lot of damage to the vehicle for the rollover for where it was. He sustained a broken arm. Maybe it was from putting his arm out and he saved the machine at the expense of his arm. We'll never actually know. Another successful recovery. And thank you guys for watching. And if you would, give us a subscribe. It really motivates us to create more. We're trying to hit that 100,000 in 2026. You guys are awesome. And thank you for watching another adventure with Wild West Off-Road Recovery. To sit in it, but
I'm about to say, dumb question. I'm not getting in the damn thing, am I?
well, it would make it easier, but I want you to film it. You can't film it from the inside. Your job just got safer because you're a cameraman. Look at that shit.